And good morning, my lovelies. Welcome back to the Guiding Chariot. Okay, so I know I said I was going to get another pick a card reading out, and that truly was my intention, but after Wednesday, things got a little crazy. So time has just not been on my side. Even today, it's so early. I literally woke up just moments ago, and I'm like, I'm going to try and turn this one out before I have to, dash out. So this is going to be probably I say a quick reading, you never know. Once we get into it, we can talk for days. So, but this is going to be a general reading for the collective. So take it as it resonates. You may or may not vibe with it. This is just something I wanted to share. And I feel like a lot of what's going to be talked about is a lot of emotional healing. So if you have been going through anything, and it doesn't have to be bad, okay? It doesn't have to be negative emotions either. But if you have just kind of been in the feels, whether they're good or bad, and honestly they really could be good because of all the things going on with Venus right now and the moon. So it could, honestly, you really could be in a nice, lovey-dovey mood, even if you're just loving on yourself. If that's something you kind of resonate to, I definitely think you should stay tuned. Other than that, check it out, see if you vibe. If you don't worry about it. Going to be an interesting reading, I feel like. But before we get into that, just to give you a little heads up. So as I was meditating on your cards and what decks to use and what we were going to talk about, I used my old, well, not mine, but my friend's old Oracle deck. And these are the 3 cards that came out. So you got Grid Worker. And I will say I don't necessarily think this means everyone watching this video is a grid worker, but I do think what you're healing, what you're moving past, what you're working on, in some way is going to support the collective, right? So I don't necessarily think you're activating ley lines and all kinds of that. I mean, some of you totally could be. But for the majority of you, I think this is just about you getting into alignment and getting into your own vibration, and that ultimately inspiring or supporting the collective. Then we got Harmony that came out, which, self-explanatory. Creating peace and harmony. We love that. Experiencing flow. To me, when I see the Harmony card, it literally just makes me think of everything in balance, everything flowing, allowing things to happen, and everything just feeling good, right? It's just, to me, it always feels very divine. It's just things are happening the way they're supposed to be happening. Everything's in balance. We're all good. We're content with what's going on. We're happy. It just feels like everything flows smoother, easier, things click, things fall into place, where there's no resistance. It's just lovely, lovely, lovely things. And then we also got Unicorn. So this can speak to unicorn guides if you really connect with that. To me, this unicorn, especially right now, looking at it this morning and thinking about it, gives me a lot of inner child vibes. So lots of inner child healing, which again, I told you, I feel like we're going to talk about some emotional stuff. But that may be it's maybe something that's being processed for you. I literally just woke up moments ago, so if I'm a little I'm not writing on all cylinders. I haven't even had my tea yet. I do have a glass of water though. I'll drink some water. Hold on. Or a bottle of water, not a glass. But anyway, so there may be some inner child things coming up that could have to do with healing, like healing things from the past or healing things from childhood. But I also feel like it could just be connecting to that joyful, playful sense of self, right? A lot of times our inner child, that's the part of us that, wasn't affected by society, that didn't worry about others' opinions. That's the version of us that was, birth to, 8, our little kid when we just did what was fun. We wanted to climb the tree, so we climbed the tree. We didn't wonder what people were going to think of us wanting to climb that tree. We didn't have to wear the right outfit for it. We just wanted to do it because it was exciting and fun, and we just wanted to enjoy ourselves. That's really the vibe I think is coming through with Unicorn, getting to that place of just full self-expression and just doing you and being in your own vibe. And again, that's where this grid worker bit comes in. I think just by being your authentic self, you are literally either inspiring others in the collective, raising the collective vibration. That's where this grid worker is coming up, in my opinion. and a little bit about the astrology of this week, because this is what I wanted to talk, or not talk, but do a reading on, specifically focused on some of the recent transits we had. Because transits? Why did I put an N in there? Transits that we recently had, because we had, I want to say it was on Wednesday. I might be making these days up now that it's gone by. But we had the Venus conjunction with the moon, and then literally the very next day, I believe it was Mercury. Yeah, I think it was the next day, was Mercury in conjunction with the moon, which that actually is a really positive space. So first, with the Venus conjunction with the moon, definitely puts us in that lovey-dovey vibe. So you really could be in the feels in a great way, whether you're in a relationship or not. So in a relationship, obviously, probably feeling all lovey-dovey, nice canoodly, warm, fuzzy time. Even if you're single, that same feeling can be inspired, and you're kind of feeling it for yourself, which is great. You always want to feel it. Or you could be, longing for new connections. New connections could be coming in, right, with that Venus influence. And then the next day when we get Mercury, so not only are we feeling the feels, and all of those emotions are coming up and really getting pushed to the forefront, now we also want to speak about them, talk about them, connect with others, share with others, especially if this is stuff that I don't want to say necessarily needs to be healed, but maybe it's been repressed or kind of shoved in the back of the filing cabinet. Now that it's coming up to the front, we're at a point where Mercury is like, well, let's talk about that, right? Let's talk about this. Let's get this out. Or, for some of you, it may have been the desire to confess feelings for someone. And it doesn't have to be romantic. It could just speaking feelings to friends, family, whatever. But it came up emotionally within you with Venus, and then Mercury got us to the point where we can talk about it, make some decisions about it for sure. The main reason I wanted to bring that up, because we want to make sure when we're feeling that effect from Mercury, which yes, it has happened, so this may be a little after the fact, but you can take this as confirmation, or if it hasn't happened yet for you and it's still coming up, which if it is, it's probably coming up soon. I just wanted to throw this out there. This is why I wanted to film this on like Thursday. But with all of that coming forward, if we're still kind of operating from a place of fear or hurt, or especially anger and frustration, right? All the things not associated with this unicorn card, then our decision making is going to be in alignment with that. So it's still going to be fear-based, right? Or we may be reactive and lash out versus meeting someone with compassion, or having the necessary understanding to look at something honestly and reflect on it and learn from it, right? It's just going to come up again. We're going to blow up again, and we're probably going to do the same thing we did before, and that's not how we grow, right? So with that being said, that's why I say I think there's going to be a lot of healing that comes through. And I feel like most of you, for those who need the healing, which, we can always, there's always a part of us that can be healed and nurtured, right? We always have a shadow self that can, that we can work with and work through. But those who are going through it a little heavier, who are definitely feeling, that heart space, that emotional space, really going through it right now. Just know that's really working out for your highest good. And all of that stuff is coming up so you can kind of sort that stuff out. Especially as we move towards the end of the month where we have that Mercury retrograde. This is almost kind of like it's like a little bit of a softener. Like, we're going to give you a test run, and if you can get through some of these, if you can master some of these skills, it'll make the big test, it'll make the final a lot easier, right? So it's kind of like a little baby half step to either get us ready or help to clear out some small stuff so they don't have to be brought up again as we continue to move forward. Another thing I've been feeling for this reading is I feel a lot of this, it could be ancestral, but I feel like your ancestors also could be really, really connecting with you and sending you downloads and messages. That's why you'll notice all the fossils have come out today, right? So connecting to our earth ancestors, connecting to some ancient wisdom. Even star ancestors could be coming through. We do have the Palladian lineup coming up. Is it over the weekend? I think it's over the weekend. next weekend, this coming weekend. I'm filming this Sunday morning. I'm hoping I'm posting it Sunday morning. Just depends how quickly it can transfer. I know I try not to keep my intros long, but there's just stuff we need to talk about. All right, I think you're happy with that. So no, you could definitely be getting a lot of downloads, and we are moving into Gemini season. That's literally what Gemini loves to do, right? Okay, so let's get into it. All right. Well, I feel like we've talked about this. All right, so first card out, 5 of Chalices. This is that emotional space. So this is if you guys have been feeling sadness, mourning. For some, I keep wanting to say regret, which is not something I always say with the 5 of, so this will be the 5 of Cups. It's definitely a part of the card, but it's not something I necessarily resonate very often with, but regret is coming up. And it may not necessarily be regret, like you regret your actions, but it could be, you regret maybe letting something fall apart, whether it's a relationship. Could be a job, right? Could have been, something that you enjoyed, may have fallen away. I want to say the word disintegrated, so it might literally just be gone, whatever it is. And that's not to say that that wasn't a good thing. We're just missing it, right? We're missing what we got from it, what we felt from it. Doesn't necessarily mean that it was meant to stay forever, so it's not something that, we necessarily should have back in our life. But, everything has good and bad. So we may just be in the vibe where we're missing some of the good right now. And then we have the Reason card. So this is the Emperor. To me, this is you creating order. This is you understanding the reason why this happened, understanding what to do next, how to move forward, right? So to me, this to me is, yes, it definitely speaks to the healing from the 5 of Cups to the Emperor, but this is you kind of getting back your vision, getting back your understanding. I also feel like with the, I know there's a name for these shapes, these little geometric solids, and it's escaping me at the moment, but it's making it like this, and then the pendant he's using definitely is giving me this idea of talismans. So some of you may be working with talismans. You may have specific tools you like to have near you right now. So there may be like a certain, necklace pendant you like to wear. You may literally use some type of pendulum. You're having a certain stone in your pocket, something that you like to work with. I feel like that's something that definitely can help you connect with this energy. And when I say connect to this energy, we're really connecting to yourself and your understanding and where you need to be in alignment, what you're working through in this emotional space. Excuse me. Ugh, way too early. I'm so not awake yet. And then we have this 6 of Chalices. This, honestly, I think is really significant. Obviously, we have the major, so that's kind of the main energy. There's 2. But to me, having the 5 and then kind of going through this level of kind of ownership and leadership for yourself, and then coming to the 6, definitely moving out of this hurt space, and to me, understanding. And this is that reflecting back, right, with the 6 of Cups. Normally, there's a sense of nostalgia. We're just kind of missing what was, what we felt, what was going on. And we just want to reconnect to that. Maybe not that specific event or person or situation. There's the 3rd one. I was like, let's just get to 3 already. But the emotional bits, what we desired, what we enjoyed, what we loved about that situation, we're just kind of feeling a little nostalgic, reminiscing. Oh, wouldn't that be nice to have that back? And yes, it totally would. Not taking that away. But it's just that emotional space. So how do we create that for ourselves? How do we create that within ourselves, right? So we can manifest it again in a new way, in a version that's much more in alignment. All right? Then we have the Master of Flames. This would be the King of Wands in a traditional deck. So this is that energy completely aligned with, I always like to think that this is a major soul alignment, right? Because when we talk about the Suit of Flames or the Suit of Wands, it's passion, it's desire, it's action, it's motivation for sure. We also have, that that beautiful like manifesting quality as well, being being the suit of flames or the suit of wands. So this is you again in your element. This is you in your power. We already kind of know that's the journey we're on with the Emperor card as I'm flinging everything around. So to me, this is you really connecting and taking charge of your passions, right? And you can see this kind of sun rising in the back, right? And I see it as a sunrise, not a sunset. But this, again, is that sense of self, that sense of passion, returning, coming back. It's starting to step up over the horizon again. I really think there's a new dawning coming. We also have the Starseed card here. So this is the Fool card in this particular deck. So definitely speaking to a new beginning. And, it's almost like and then we have that Crystal Lotus down there as well for enlightenment, right? So I think this understanding of self is starting this new trajectory, this new path. Just the way this card is set, it's definitely making me think of this, this alignment with Pleiades coming up. I just think there's going to be so much understanding and so many downloads coming, whether they're, conscious during the waking hours, maybe they're subconscious in dreams. It'll be different for everyone. I feel like I'm talking so, slowly this morning. It's like every syllable has to, It's the strangest feeling. Granted, it could just be morning TC trying to sort his life out, but this Starseed energy, I think, is really it's incredibly potent. It's incredibly potent. Like this shift we've been talking about after the 5/5 portal. We just had another one this week, right? Because it was 5/14, which is also 5/5. We're gonna have another one right after the Pleiades alignment on 5/23. So lots of shifts, lots of major activations. This probably going to be one of the biggest ones we have this month. And for those who are connecting with this reading, it's really about bringing you into an alignment and bringing you into a much deeper sense of self, really connecting to you with what makes you happy, right? Again, activating that inner child. Where does that joy and pleasure come from, right? Because socially we learn what success looks like, and this is what a well-functioning adult looks like, and that you have to be able to provide, and it's about money and climbing that ladder and da. That we all learn as we grow up and we start to accept others' opinions and listen to people outside of ourselves. And I'm not saying that's necessarily a bad thing, but we start to disconnect, right, from our inner child because we think we have to grow up and we've got to be this person. We've got to go to college and do all these things that people accept as that's how you get to the next level and do all these things. This alignment, I think, is really about getting you back to, yes, exactly what we talked about, but getting you into alignment with really what is your passion, what is your purpose, what is that stamp you want to be known for, right? When people, think of you, what do you want that first thing to pop up? What's that hallmark of your character, right? I think a lot of what's happening is really connecting, coming into alignment with that. And, if we can backtrack to 2020, I feel like that was a big opportunity that we all, got to experience with 2020. Yes, it was, crazy and all kinds of weird stuff happened. We all lived through it. But I think a lot of that helped to realign. A lot of us that were in, myself included, were in situations that maybe we thought were right, we thought we were supposed to, and then once we had that taken away, we had nothing but time to figure out, how did we feel about this? Did that bring us joy? Was that something for a season, or was that something for a reason, right? It literally gave us all that moment to find true alignment, because all the distractions were taken away. You were kind of just left with you and yourself, and what is it yourself wanted to do? So definitely something that we've been reflecting on for a very long time, and now that energy is really coming to its peak, right? Next we have the Sage of Crystals. This would be the Queen of Pentacles in a traditional deck. So to me, this is a very strong sense of self, full of confidence, very grounded and rooted in your sense of being, right? Well manifested as well. I'm just going to throw that out there. But I think it's the calm, it's the collectiveness, it's the just very, very centered and in the know, right? This is someone who has truly nurtured their well-being, right? So not only motivated and passionate and driven, but centered and rooted in oneself. All right. So then we get to the Five of Crystals. So this is that Five of Pentacles. And honestly, I think this energy is more just about being solo. It's not necessarily the, like, feeling outcasted. Although maybe some of you are feeling that. But I don't necessarily think you're being shunned or booted out of something. I think it's because as you are coming into alignment, you're finding you don't resonate. You don't click with the places you used to be, whether that's a job, whether this is friends, your social circles. It's just like, I don't really want to talk about that anymore. I really don't want to go to these places. I don't want to do this anymore. Like, it's kind of like that I feel like there's tons of memes that talk about this, but where you start to evolve and just kind of like find your own way and do your own thing. You're like, this is what I'm really attracted to. And then people start giving me wow, you've changed. And it's like, it's not that you've changed, you've just grown, right? And honestly, you should be changing. If they're not changing, I would find that more concerning than me changing, right? Why are you not changing is a better question. But to have that Five Crystals, which is to me just about being solo and being cool with your own vibration, and then having the Seven of Flames, which is kind of celebrating that exact same thing, right? So it's like, not only are you kind of finding solace and doing your own thing and finding your own vibe, and again, that may mean you're disconnecting from certain people that you no longer vibe with. Doesn't make them bad, doesn't make you good. It's just, this is how I'm feeling, and it just doesn't really connect with what's going on over here, so I'm going to go over there. But this Seven of Flames to me is you celebrating that. It's you kind of owning and dancing in your own uniqueness. And that's what is happening. And that's, we talked about that in the beginning when we talked about these oracle cards. It feels like this is just a moment of you stepping into your authenticity. And then we have here the Seven of Chalices, the options that lay before you. And they are endless, my friends. You really could do anything. This Fool card, this new beginning with the Starseed, is really being driven by you. This opportunity isn't being just placed before you and you just have to agree to it and say yes. You are creating this. You are creating this, and that's why the options are limited. It can be whatever you want to be. You have free will in this moment to make it happen, right? I mean, you have free will in every moment, right? That's never something that's not afforded to you. But what I mean, you're literally creating this. You are literally creating it. So could you choose to not kind of follow this and go back to the way things were? Yes, you totally could if you wanted that nice, comfortable, cushy job that didn't fuel you and nurture you. Sure could. And that's just the example. Like, it'll be different for everyone. That's just the example I'm throwing out. And I wanted to show the bottom of the deck. Solar Deity. This is the Sun card telling you life and vitality returning. But oh my God, look. And then we have the World card, which is the Ascension. But this is you rising above what was to find, look at that, to find nirvana, to find bliss. This is the Ten of Cups. Oh, babies, this is big, big, big time for us. Big, big, big time. Especially having the World and the Fool come on in the same reading. It's literally like, as one thing is ending, the new thing is beginning, right? So it's just about clearing the way, opening that space up. But again, you're creating your Ten of Cups. What does this happily ever after look like? And it's truly all by your doing. We're going to pull a few oracle cards just to kind of close out this reading. Let's shuffle this out. Okay. Okay. Cool. We might pull a few more, but I'm kind of happy with what we got right now. So first card out, Arrow. Surround yourself with protective energy. This is what I'm feeling with that Five of Crystals, right? It's just about being in alignment. Like, what do I feel like? What do I want to do? What makes me happy? And I don't want to just tolerate things because, the people I'm with want to do this. I don't really enjoy it, but you know, they're going, I gotta go. Like, you can't just say no and be like, yeah, I don't really feel like doing that. I'll catch you guys later. Or I'm gonna go see other people because they're gonna go do something that feels more in alignment with me. Second card out, winter, take care of your needs. Yeah. Like, for real, take care of your needs. Do what you need to do. Sometimes that might be rest. Sometimes that might be, you know, I just don't want to see that movie, right? You know, there's a lot of us that have to be very cautious on what we filter in over media or what we find for entertainment. That is a big thing. We also have the moon card, take note of intuitive messages. This is the guidance. I talked about ancestors coming through, whether they're earth ancestors or star ancestors. You're going to get a lot of messages as you step in. This is also going to be listening to your higher self, right? As we go through these activations, you're going to be feeling a certain kind of way, and that's totally fine. Oh, I love this. We're actually going to do these together. So we had, first card was arrow, right? Surround yourself with protective energy. Then you literally have protection guardian. You can drop your shields. I love that. Now, to me, this doesn't mean, because if you were super cynical, you could look at that and be like, so you're telling me to surround myself with protection, and then you're telling me to drop my guards? That doesn't make sense. Honestly, you are protected, right, with this protection guardian coming in. It's literally speaking about protection. It's in the name. What's happening with them together is about, how do I want to word this? It's about making these conscious decisions, knowing that the protection is there, right? Because we're getting those intuitive messages about what feels right, what feels in alignment, you know, and also that's what your emotional space is for. I've talked about it in other videos. Your emotional space is how your body communicates to you. If you start feeling oogy about something, if you feel like something, you know, is making you sad or making you upset, that's your body telling me we don't belong here. We're out of alignment in this moment. That's why it sucks so much. So the more happy you feel, that's like the compass getting closer and closer to north. So there is guidance there for you, telling you where you should go, what you should be doing, who you should be hanging out with. If you hang out with someone and they make you feel like crap, you probably shouldn't be around that person very much, right? Now, that doesn't mean you can't talk about it and find resolutions and heal from things and move past things. That's always an option too. But, you know, that's been a meme I've been seeing a lot recently, where essentially it's something about if you have an argument, especially with someone who's not a, you know, divine partner or not soul family, you know, and it leads to an argument, probably not in alignment, where if something happens and you bring it up and it leads to a conversation, especially one where then you see change behavior, whether in you or in the other person, you know, that's someone who listened, that's someone who's growing, right? They actually care and respect about your feelings and your opinions to adapt, you know, to your needs. That doesn't mean everyone has to bend and compromise to you, but it's like someone saying, you know, something happened to someone saying, I'm sorry, and then they do the exact same thing again, right? That's not the person you want to be with. That's not the connection you want. Because obviously, if they're not changing, if nothing's changing in the situation, why? What's the point, right? I feel like we're not done. We're gonna pull a few more. Oh, okay, that was a lot, Spirit. That was really a lot. I feel like the ones that were face down were not really, yeah, face down ones we're going to leave. We'll take these face up babies though. So we've got Druid, hold space. This is your sacred space, right? Now, this sacred space can exist within you or surrounding you as well, right? But this is you setting up those healthy boundaries, right? I'm literally seeing that scene from Dirty Dancing. This is my dance space. This is your dance space, right? It's again, it's just speaking to those healthy boundaries. Mountains, stand your guard, right? So not only set up your boundaries and then defend them, right? Because it's one thing to be like, you know what, this is what I'm going to tolerate. This is what I'm going to accept. And actually, I'm going to put that with you. But then if the second that same old destructive behavior pops up and you just let that slide, what was the point of the boundary if you're going to let anyone walk through anyway? The point of that boundary is to show people how you deserve to be treated, right? It's also how you treat yourself. So to me, that stand your ground is supporting and backing up those boundaries you're setting. And then just to drive it home, because we got it with the moon card, and actually that's where it's going to sit, right? So medicine mother, but this is all about listening to that sense of knowing within you, right? And what is it? What is the prompt? Honor your inner knowing, right? So it is about honoring it as well. So almost piggybacking that exact same message. But those are, to me, the three kind of guardians that we got in the reading. That's really divine influence. Again, so earth ancestors, star ancestors, either way, offering protection in the sense of guiding through that emotional space, leading you towards alignment, helping you to hold that space and honor that space where you are most in tune, where you are happiest, where you are your highest vibration. And then also helping you to honor that intuition, listen to what you need, right? We had that message earlier as well. So there's this big sense of really tuning in to you. And also just, like I said with the Seven of Flames, just dancing and reveling in it. Like I want to avoid being all cliche and be like, you're the only you, right? But it's kind of a true story. And there is a very kind of beautiful vibration that the collective gets to enjoy when you are in your authenticity, right? Because you're the only one who vibrates in that space, right? And actually I was thinking about this yesterday, like this exact kind of idea. And there's this, it's easy to just be like, well, what I do can't be that special because, I want to, like, let's say this is about a business and I want to start, I don't know, I want to open my own bookstore because I love books. But I mean, tons of people have bookstores. There are tons of bookstore chains. Like, they can go there. Why should I even start my own, right? We go through that little level of doubting and double checking things and over analyzing things. But no one's going to open your bookstore. No one's going to have a bookstore with your focus, right? Maybe you are super attracted to a certain type of book, or you just have this ability to find these really like niche, types of stories. Everyone has their own input to something. So even 100 people could have the same skill. They're all going to do it slightly differently. They're all going to manifest that talent in a different way. So even though tons of people could do what you do, no one does it quite like you. And that's kind of where that special magic happens. That's why a lot of what's going on for the collective is about finding your special spot in this scenario, in this setup, in this world, right? There's only you can fill that spot, right? So it's really, are you rising to the occasion to make that happen and make sure you are putting your voice out there, putting your gifts out there, putting your voice out there in whatever form that takes, right? Huge alignment. And with that really comes up setting these boundaries where what doesn't fit anymore, what hurts you, what wounds you, what drags you down, what slows you down, making sure you have barriers to keep that at bay, right? I'm just not going to allow this anymore. It's a simple message, but it's quite a powerful one. All right, my lovelies, I think that was, oh God, we're at over half an hour. I'm gonna let you guys go. I hope this will be short enough to upload before I leave. But I'm gonna leave it there this coming week. So probably starting tomorrow, if I can get my schedule together. I am gonna start filming the Gemini season readings because I believe it starts on the 20th. So this Thursday, if I remember correctly. So I am going to start filming the Gemini readings. Those readings I think are going to be lit with all the activations going on in Gemini as we move into Gemini season. We also have Mercury in Gemini. Mercury's going retrograde. We have the Palladian lineup coming. So I think the Gemini readings are going to be lit. So make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you have that notification bell out so you can see when your sign pops up. As always, I love and appreciate everything you do and how you help this channel to grow and reach more people. So make sure you continue to smash the like button and leave a comment down below. It truly excites me to hear from you and it helps the channel to reach more people. I don't fully understand the YouTube algorithm, but it's a thing. So smash that like button, please. And until next time, I love you guys. Stay safe. I'll see you in your next reading. Bye.